Welcome everyone, this is Pilot Needles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Terry Adwin.
Hi, hi.
And Cinders.
Hello.
Hello. And this week the news is that we have a pair of downtimes next week. The first of these is a hotfix that will be done to the game in order to handle some troubles that they have with the boss in the Anvil of Winterstith, where some of the work is being done on the ice case to prevent drakes from getting stuck, and Isvitha will now spawn as an NPC and require someone to approach her to begin the battle, and various enemy pathing fixes have been made. And they also had the Sons of Leaf and Stone instance is no longer blocked by Malorns.
I didn't realize that was an issue, but okay.
It must have been something that was done by maybe a frills update or something like that. Maybe it was causing some troubles there that might have happened recently, since they would have been touching up the area most likely in preparation for the opening of the epics for the legendary servers.
Right.
And some lantern placement has been adjusted in the quest lanterns aglow, and foliage has been cleared from the ring of Melbrithil. And as for items, many Moria content-related items have been restatted to modern numbers.
Always a plus.
Yes. Lorien item sets now have a maximum level of 70. Their existing maximum level of 60, minimum level of 60 remains unchanged. Some essences for levels 50 to 105 have had their benefits adjusted down slightly. Essences with minimum usage 106 plus are not affected. And selection boxes of medium might gear have been removed from quest rewards throughout the game. Those are the Bjorning medium gears rewards that they had in order to circumvent the trouble of Bjornings having medium armor but using might instead.
Right.
And since now they can use heavy armor, they're now removing all those medium armors that they had to put in just for the Bjornings.
Here's hoping they actually managed to get them all.
Yes. Now, as for known issues, the 11th anniversary Pinwheel Fireworks item is not currently producing fireworks. We will be fixing this in the near future, hopefully before the anniversary. And level 5 and 10 medium gear selection boxes have been removed from the game. When do Bjornings get their heavy armor?
I think it's after level 10, which is why
why? Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like 5 and 10 ones are missing.
Yeah. So they removed them all. As you're saying, I hope they removed them all. It looks like they've removed too many.
Well, they removed the selection boxes, but I mean, I don't know. The whole might-based medium gear is kind of an issue anyway.
Yeah. There's a point. And fortunately, when you're less than level 10, it's not going to matter all that much.
I mean, you tend to level so fast through those areas, it doesn't usually make a difference.
Yeah.
I never start worrying about gear until about level 20.
Yes. And this patch will be implemented on Monday morning from 8 a.m. through noon. And that'll be for 23.3.3. And that means that most likely, if you're seeing this, because isn't that around the time we usually post our episode?
Yeah.
Therefore, you'll probably already know about the downtime notice if you're listening to this, unless you're listening to this live.
Right.
Or you are going into the YouTube version on Sunday nights. Now, on Wednesday, there will be another downtime, and this is going to be all day. technically from 2 a.m. until midnight, 22 hours. So it's going to be a very, very long downtime, which means I hope you haven't been planning anything special in LOTRO on Wednesday. And I should note that this does include DDO also, because apparently they are doing major hardware work at the data center. And I get the impression that this is by the initiative of the data center, because I got the impression that Standing Stones heard about it rather late themselves, which is why it wasn't until Friday when they announced this, because apparently Cordovan felt that they really wished that they could have given better notice on this, but I got the impression that's how little notice they had. Unfortunately, I caught the discussion on this during Cordovan's live stream at the tail end of it, so I didn't get the full story of what he was explaining over there. I just know 22 hours, very long one, and has something to do with the data center having to either upgrade the hardware, replace the hardware, move the machines, something like that. I'm not exactly sure of the details.
We can survive without LOTRO for 22 hours.
Yes, we can survive for 22 hours without LOTRO. So hope you don't go too much into withdrawal as a result, and hope that it doesn't make the difference between you finishing the skirmish event or not finishing the skirmish event.
Well, there's still time to do the skirmish event. I mean, if you are at risk of not finishing the skirmish event, you may not have started it already.
Yes, well, that's true, because in fact, if you have not started it yet, it would be impossible even without the downtime, I think, to finish it up. Because it's going to be, because you need 12 days in order to, at least my definition of finishing it up, at least then, was getting the Harbingers, the daily quest, done 12 times.
Yep.
For the LOTRO Beacon, we are at issue 100.
Woo woo.
Whee! And we get another image from Khazad-dûm. I presume we're going to get a few of these around in the future in celebration of the legendary servers opening on Khazad-dûm. At least until we start hearing.
Oh, I know what the name of this bridge is, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's an actual named bridge.
Is this the Stone Council? Or is this a different bridge?
It could be the Stone Council. It looks a little too narrow, though. I think this is the one that leads into Silvertine Lodestrom Deep Delvings.
Yeah, that's the Stone Council.
No, Stone Council goes the other way.
Goes the other way?
It goes up into Chamber of the Crossroads. Right?
And you guys are sure that's not the entrance from the Lothlorien side?
Yes, that's an interior shot of Moria.
Oh, we're looking at the top picture, sorry.
Yeah,
I was looking at the second picture, was like, I'm confused. Sorry, I'm on the right picture now.
Yeah. The Stone Council is a passage between the Dolphin View in the Great Delving and the Deep Descent in the Silvertine Lodes.
Oh, then yes, that's what that is. Pretty sure. Like 99% sure.
Then we will go with that. Then next we have on the community spotlights, we have a new outfit from Cosmetic LOTRO, The Dark Shore. And we have the Department of Harmony and Song performing on, we have a link to their performance from the 24th of February. And the March Oaks will be hopping Join Acorn Oakley Saturday, March 9th on Laurelin, and you can click for extra details. For our Ken Hall this week, Thunder Riders is recruiting on Crick Hollow. If you want to settle down into a humble well-established place that feels like home and have a fun time, then feel free to join us. We accept all levels, races, classes, ages, and experience. Medium-sized kinship that runs all sorts of game content. Mature kinship with active and friendly players. Beautiful kinship house with all the crafting stations. We have Discord with different LOTRO references as well. For more information, please send a mail and or tell Corey. Korre. And now for our weekly comment. Spring is quickly approaching. How are you preparing for the warm weather festivities?
Say in reality or in LOTRO?
I haven't quite figured out which one yet.
Well, in reality, it's still snowing here. So not a whole lot is happening on the reality front.
I know what you mean. We've got a snowstorm blowing through us tomorrow.
I'm hopeful for at least the late start, but we'll see. And then in game, I'm making sure that my characters that have allies have the appropriate level allies. I have a guardian who now has 2 first age allies, which means I'm going to get to spend, 42 plus days in Minas Tirith getting them ready and finishing out Cinderina's. She only needs like
your first time in Minas
8.
Tirith.
So she only needs like 8 more per stat on her legendary items for Cinderina, but M's starting at the very beginning. And so they'll need their crystals and all that stuff too. So I'll be doing a lot of in and out league running. There are worse things in life.
Yes. So what am I doing to prepare for warm weather festivities? Well, first I need to thaw. Then I could think about it.
I'm with Pine Leaf because we're a little snowed under here too. In fact, I haven't really been thinking of spring, despite the fact that I work at a place that is definitely thinking of spring, despite the fact that nobody else is. Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't been doing festivals, so I'm not like super excited for Springfest. Although I am looking forward to the anniversary because I passed my actual 7-year anniversary back in September, so I get the 7-year box this year, which means that my wargs get the warg dance emote, and I'm so excited for it.
Ooh.
I get the dancing emote, which is awesome.
I can't wait to see it.
That's right. And I guess this year I think I get the 11s emote this year. Which looks like the 11s emote looks like it almost could have been called picnic instead. So what you're doing there, you're sort of.
Well, I mean, you always want a picnic emote. Come on.
Right.
Man, I'm really wishing I'd known about this game at the beginning too, because that would be awesome.
Yes. Well, Doralyn says, I am looking forward to spring, even though, like Terry and Pine, snow tomorrow. Yeah. A lot of snow still around. I still remember there was one year where we had the cherry blossoms in full bloom all over the place on St. Patrick's Day. And then on April 1st, all the cherry blossoms disappeared due to a snowstorm.
Oh, we've had blizzards all the way into May before.
Yeah. Ah, joy.
And say all those cherry blossoms being gone can ruin the crop.
Yeah.
What? Well, down here, the cherry blossom. Yes, cherry blossoms in Washington D.C. are the Japanese flowering cherries, not the fruity ones that you probably have where you live.
Oh yes, we have orchards full, and that's always their big concern with an early frost.
with an early
Yeah.
frost is
Mhm.
all the cherries being lost. Yes,
Yep.
you can't make those giant cherry pies then.
Exactly. There's nothing like the giant cherry pie in George Washington.
Let's head to our
Go ahead.
okay. Let's head into our fan site news then. We have you watch LOTRO, the Bowville edition, and Flights of Fancy with Wayward Plane, Lore and Laughter with Middle Earth Maiden, Be Bold, Be Wary with Pulu Felgar, and A Bard, Bagpipes, and Battles with Doug Glendower. The Road Goes Ever On with Gravity 42, and Awfully Good Company with Mushui. And you watch Master of Moria, Midweek Meanderings with Vibro Jedi. And in the news, we of course had the producer's letter, which we discussed last week. Well, they have a link to 23.3.2 here. Of course, now
Coming
we've
up
got a
on
link to
23.3.3.
23.3.3. Yeah, so we're past them on that matter. Now for our screenshot of the week, where it looks like I presume that's a dead troll rather than a sleeping one, or what?
It.
Looks
Do you
like
know? I think this is a Moria troll. You know why I think it's a Moria troll? Because check out the crate to the right and the glowing sticks on it.
Yeah, that's very definitely a great, yes, because that would explain, yes, so Battle of the 21st Thousand?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be the most
That's a great shot.
Whee! Actually, maybe that's the boss?
I think it could be the boss.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look like the Chamber of Miserable.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't look like Chamber of Miserable because
they fight it out in the hall or something? It's a great shot regardless,
Yes.
but I'm not
I was gonna say, it is possible to fight it outside, but I don't know that you would catch the boss.
Well, you have to auto loot the body so that it does stick around for a little while so you can get that shot.
Well, Dorlin apparently has managed to drag it. So yes, and of course, Hosgrim of Laurelin is cheering that he has brought down this vicious troll.
Yeah.
Actually, it can't be outside the Chamber of Miserable because of the position of the flag scrolls. So it would have to be inside of it.
Is that just a strange angle? Because it could be the Masterable entrance.
Yeah, the thing you see in the back, I think, is the entrance to Miserable. And that the crate there are the crates that you have in Miserable where you can pick up a couple of scrolls.
I really should spend more time looking up in this game.
Yeah.
I don't spend enough time looking up, and I really should.
All right. Great shot and giving us a new perspective on this particular skirmish. So that ends it for our Lotro Beacon this week. Issue number 100. Actually, they didn't even say that they were celebrating their 100th in here anywhere. But let's go into our store sales this week. And Terry, what's on sale?
See, the weekly coupon gets you a Tome of Defense 90 minutes with coupon Defense Tome now through March 7th, because you can never have too many of those. And there and back again. It's 20% off the Milestone Skills, Hurried and Returning Traveler, and Expedient Traveler, Advanced Riding Traits, and Rally Horns. Gotta stock up on those Rally Horns for when Girls of Middle-earth. As the case may be. And then the VIP weekend is this weekend.
Yes, and that'll be until... That's right, until
through the
Monday.
Yes, through the wee hours of Monday.
Yes, and for special weekends, there isn't anything particular special for next weekend.
Kind of surprised Hobnanigans isn't on, though, because it's usually on the first weekend of the month.
Actually, I think it was.
Let's
Because
say
I had to click on
it's-
the quest this week. I did have to click on the... Yeah, I remember clicking on the quest this weekend.
It's on Honor and it's on Gladden, so my guess would be that yes, it's on, but I filtered it.
I haven't filtered.
Characters.
I guess I had been filtering it through via character. I guess I actually broke down and filtered it on account.
I'm on so many different filters. Even if I did filter it on account, it wouldn't have been on all of the servers.
Yeah.
So I did see that pop up on Honor this week. So no special weekends next week, though that will be the last weekend of the skirmish event. So it could be that it won't anything interfering with that.
Well, and also, is it 1 or 2 weekends before the Spring Fest? Sorry, I don't have a calendar in front of me. But if the festival starts on the 19th...
Spring Festival?
Spring Festival starts on the 19th.
Okay.
So they might have...
I know in previous years they've waited on Spring Fest until after anniversary, so I'm glad that they're not doing that this year.
Yeah, they did that for a few years, which is really ridiculous in my opinion because of how late it puts the Spring Festival. Especially with the tie-ins that they have to St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
The Spring Festival with Bulwark. In this case, it's starting 2 days after St. Patrick's Day, but close enough on that matter. Let's then head on to our site news, because this week, LOTRO Players News is brought to you by the Mirkwood Lantern Society.
For when you really need help finding lost dwarves in Mirkwood.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, so it's a lantern to help them fight against the fake will-o-wisps that are going all over the place?
Or just help you find them in general.
Yes, I guess that's useful. Now, Terry, I heard a rumor that there is another article in Cosmetic LOTRO since the one that was posted in the Beacon.
Yes, she came out on Wednesday. It is called Vivid, and it uses the Shire Plum die, which is a die that I don't use because it's a festival die. But it's one of the Mordor quest rewards. It's very cool.
Now, could it work with a different die in place of the Shire Plum?
Absolutely. It wouldn't look quite as springy, though, unless, well, I guess maybe if you used a sea blue, it would still have that pastel look to it.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, of course, in this case, if you're doing receive blue, you'd be standing near a different set of flowers when you're taking these.
Well, yes. It's interesting that this is actually a light armor chest piece, but it has a heavy armor look to it.
I know sometimes you have those strange things where you have a heavy armor piece that looks light or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool. It makes the cosmetic systems extremely flexible, and it's also one of the reasons why wardrobe is an awesome thing. Because while it's nice to have heavy armor stuff that looks light, or vice versa, light armor characters can't wear heavy armor. Unless they use the wardrobe.
Unless you use the wardrobe, yes. Let's then head into our new player question. And Cinders, what's your question this week?
My question this week is, and it might have already been asked, but how do you learn a new instrument skill?
Depends on what class you are.
So if you were a guardian who happened to find a more cowbell, What would you need to do to go about using said more cowbell?
Is the more cowbell the one that's available at the skirmish camp, or?
I don't know how she acquired it, honestly.
Because I know that there is a cowbell of some sort that's available at the skirmish camp. That's the only instrument. There's only one instrument that's learnable there. Most others you
So
find
the
a
more
friendly...
cowbell, I think you actually need to purchase the skill, and I think it actually is the skirmish camp one.
Yep.
Okay.
For other additional instruments, if you are not a minstrel, you would get a friendly minstrel to teach them to you.
Okay.
Yes. It's amazing how many calls a minstrel gets for drums.
Yeah, all the
I
time.
can believe it.
Yeah. And that's going to become very popular on Honor very soon.
Yes, because the Grand Stairs is coming out. That's
Yeah,
where you get the Moria drum.
Yeah.
Is that
Also
the
known
one
as
that's invisible?
the Encore drum, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Encore drum.
Alright.
Also known as the Invisible drum. It
It's
comes
the
from
invisible drum.
Yeah, it comes from the Grand Stairs.
Yes. Therefore...
2 per instance.
Yeah.
It's really sad that I know that, but I've run that instance many, many times to get that drum.
There are... I believe each character starts with... These days I think it's 4 instruments now because I think everybody learns the lute. Half of them get the horn, half of them get the clarinet. And I believe fiddle and bassoon when they were added, they were for everyone, if I recall correctly.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. And if you want to go beyond that, yes, it is finding a friendly minstrel. Now, sometimes you might be, because I think it's possible to sell the mentoring tomes on the auction house. Is that a thing on there?
They don't pop up super often because the cooldown for the mentoring tomes actually takes
longer
than just mentoring somebody.
Yeah. So they prefer to mentor directly.
So with the mentoring, is it like a deed for them, so they need to mentor X number of people?
Actually, I think there is. Yeah. I think so. Is that the helpful that? No.
What was that?
I'm trying to think what is is it the helpful that you get for mentoring, or I thought there was a remote type.
No, it's a title. You get
a title.
Mentor of Song.
Ah.
And there's like 2 or 3 tiers.
2 or 3 tiers.
Yeah, there's actually several tiers for mentoring.
Oh, good grief. So yes, those minstrels are very anxious to help you learn more instruments. Did we answer your question enough? Between us and Dorlin's little typings that have been going on behind the scenes here. I'll take that as a yes then, and we can head into our week in LOTRO. And Terry Adwin, what were you up to?
Dying horribly.
What?
No, yeah, that's actually what just happened. Axley and friends got some dwarves on Lost in Mirkwood, hence the sponsor for the week, and played escort to some stupid elves and an orc, by which I mean we escorted them from the Haunted Inn in Mirkwood to Osgalath in Mirkwood. So didn't make like tons of progress because the stupid orc, because the elves decided that the smart way to go was the way that nobody would go because nobody in their right mind would go this way because it's infested with spiders.
Right. And we went there with Sans Winda.
And we went there anyway. And of course, bad things happened because that's what happens when you go the way that's infested with spiders. And then the elf got mad at us because we tried to cure the elf with the antidote that they made us go gather all the ingredients for, but she was like, no, you must give it to the orc, because the whole reason we're here is to keep this orc alive. And then the elf got mad at us for it, because we didn't really have a choice on whether or not to give it to her, but he got mad at us for not giving it to her anyway.
Some people.
Elves.
Yes.
And then we ran all the way to Thanglehod so that we would have the stable unlocked so that we can start in Thanglehod the next time we play those characters. And I broke out my Healing Runekeeper for girls, and so that was fun. I forgot how much I liked actually healing in a group. So I thought I'd run her around a little bit and work on the epic storyline and maybe get a little closer to Mordor. And Squishy Elf is still squishy. And yeah, I just died. Because I completely forgot where my bubble skill was, because, I haven't played that character in forever. Because I know where it is in Blue Line, but apparently I didn't put it on the same key in Red Line. So I may end up buying a third trait line and running her in Lightning or something and seeing if I can figure out how to run it, because I've never run it before at level 106. But, it's VIP weekend, so I thought I would try to actually level up a character. And in other news, not great news, not sure it really qualifies for highlights, but Terry Edwin finished skirmishing. I finished my last day of skirmishing. Despite not having completed the deeds, I still think I have one Harbinger left on the list that I need to kill, and I don't even care. Day 12, I'm done, I'm out.
Goodbye.
We'll revisit this later, maybe if they actually get some halfway decent rewards. She got a cloak and actually got a new pet goat that is named Kebabs. So, in the swamp we were running around, it was 2 dwarves, a hobbit, and Kebabs the goat. And yeah, that was my week. So, Cinders, what were you up to?
I'm going to apologize ahead of time in case you hear the dog barking in the background. But I did Girls of Middle Earth with my my Landreval Immerlina, and she was the tank, and she was a very squishy tank.
But she was an awesome tank.
Well, I thought so. Anyways, we did the Bells of Dale, which was on the Cinders Hasn't Done It list. And we ended up actually bringing in Cinders at the end because we had such a hard time, because we were doing a 6-man instance with 4 players. And so, we needed the support of the 120s. And then, we also did a little bit on Anor, because Sans is like, you need to play on Anor. And I was like, fine, I'll play on Anor. So my Immerlina on Anor is now, level 17, actually. So I got her about 3 levels since it's VIP weekend and a crafting bonus. And then I am currently working on getting my Landreval Immerlina to level 120, and she just popped 107, and she is hanging out with the dead, trying to figure out how to move through the Ringlow Vale. Pineleaf, how was your week?
We'll begin with on Honor, where I finished book 4 of the epic storyline. This was the bit that was in the troll shawls and running around with Legolas in trying to chase a troll. All that fun stuff. Then I did some questing in the troll shawls and also in Even Dim. So I'm questing and bouncing back and forth between those 2 locations in doing my questing, and hopefully I'll be able to finish up those locations pretty soon. I just hit level 40, which is a pretty good level for this thing, because I want to have things cleaned up so that I'll be able to soon be able to head into the Misty Mountains. And yes, I'm still going at the speed of Bingo. And I ran more skirmishes, of course, with an extra. Oh yes, I had another Defiler spawn this week when I was doing the Fort of Bruin. Remember how last week I had that elite Defiler extra that came in?
Uh-huh.
So this week I had an extra signature pop in at the start, but this time I saw him while the twins were blabbing with the boss at the beginning of them. So while they were starting their banter, I went in, killed the extra defiler before the regular defilers came in. Since the regular defilers don't come in until that little conversation is finished. So I didn't have to worry about the extra defilers then until later then. Well, actually, I didn't have to worry about that afterwards since the extra one that comes in that's not supposed to be there only pops in at the very beginning. They don't respawn like the ones that you're supposed to get are. Then during our field trip, we went and returned to the characters that are in Wildemore. It is getting cold there, and I don't know about you, but to me, the welcoming of spring will be getting out of Wildemore.
Or all of the other snowy places?
Yes, it'd be nice to be out of snowy places for a while. Oh, that's right. And just as we might be getting out of Wildemore, oh, yeah, on Nora, I guess I'll be heading into the Misty Mountains. Oh, thrills. And just as the skirmish event is going to be finishing up right around that same time, is the time in which my character will be getting to the level where I'll be doing all of those quests in Fort Hill and up in Nagmar and all those fun places that one really, really enjoys. I got quite a bit to look forward to. Let's send it to our news beyond LOTRO, where we have another wallpaper by the Antipodean Antipodean. Did he change his name to Darian Loremaster or something? Yeah. All right. Looks like he's changed his name or something because now this time it's signed by Darren Loremaster instead of the Antipodean writer. So I got a little confused there. But this is another wallpaper, Thorn Song, Break of Day, stanzas 7 through 8. We currently have 21 supporters on Patreon, and if you would like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even a guest with us for an episode of LOTRO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast@LOTROplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, LOTRO Players @LOTROPlayers, Arandis @Arandis, Pineleaf @Pineleaf Needles, Sanswinda @Sanswinda, Terry Adwin @Terry Adwin, and Cinders @Emeralina. The Players Alliance has 2 shows each week. On Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players News. You can join us for our live shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.